I specialize in gender dysphoria. I work with adolescents and with adult detransitioners.
I've been working with people with gender dysphoria for the past 23 years.
I was a comedy writer, and now, unfortunately, I've been forced to become a kind of full-time journalist and activist covering gender ideology.
I was a pretty normal little boy for the most part. I used to like to, play in the dirt. I liked cars. I liked pretty much the normal little boy stuff.
I thought being Tauran and being a man was the problem, and so I was just trying to run away from it.
When I was a teen, I was bullied quite a lot by peers of my age. I started to think of myself as a failure of a man.
I think, unfortunately, some people are so scarred by this fight that they even give detransitioners a hard time.
No happy person transitions because they are happy.
The entire time I was trying to transition, I was just filled with shame.
The whole gender ideology movement has brought us back to very regressive views of what it means to be a boy and a girl.
I was trying to be someone that I wasn't.
Am I gay or am I transgender?
It's self-hatred, not self-love that drives you there.
So your title, The Lost Boys, I think that is very accurate because there's something about childhood, teenage years, puberty, where we are a bit lost. We're trying to find who we are.
I think that we have a problem in the Western world with restrictive gender stereotypes with young boys who aren't interested in traditional male activities, who don't like sports, who shy away from competition. If they happen to be interested in more sensitive activities, if they're interested in the arts, they're now told that means they're girls. That's the wrong message.
When I look back at my population, all the males, and in those days it was mainly males, all the males would have been considered on the autistic spectrum. So the thing about the autistic mind is it's very black and white. It loves categories, it loves rules. And what I was hearing from my male patients were, well, to be male, you have to be like this, 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 and this. I'm not like this, therefore I'm other. I'm non-male, therefore I must be female.
They're very dissociated from and uncomfortable with their bodies and the sensory world. They don't like touch, and the emergence of sexuality and all the sensations it's provoked is deeply disturbing and often dissociated.
And it was like a half-hour conversation just talking about what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish with transitioning. And within 30 minutes of a Zoom conversation, I had a prescription for estrogen.
I was on the hormones for about 15, 16 months. I'm doing my hair, I'm wearing women's clothes, trying to look pretty typical. Like I was trying to blend in.
I would take a small amount of estrogen and my estrogen would go through the roof, and then my testosterone would tank to almost nothing. You can quickly find out that like low testosterone in men can cause depression, anxiety, cloudy thinking. High estrogen in men, same thing. Brain fog, depression, anxiety, lack of energy.
The brain fog is murderous. You can just be sat here chatting away and then halfway through it's like somebody's switched off the conversation and you're like, what the hell was I just speaking about?
I'm blessed to have woken up and seen that partway through the process. But what about those that do take all of the steps and then are left with nothing? All I know is that I've gotten to this point today where I've learned a lot about myself, how I fit into the world, and how the world works. I've figured out a lot of the root causes that led me down to the decisions that I made, and I know that I can make different decisions going forward. And also grieve and be frustrated with the fact that it wasn't all my fault either.
What I'm also finding is that they invest so much in their trans identities and coming out that they kind of neglect, I think deliberately, the other chores of adolescence, which is to transition into adulthood, to figure out how you're going to be an adult, who you are as a person, what your career path is going to be.
It is my fault that I did this. I'll own it. I made terrible mistakes throughout my young adulthood, including going down the transgender path. However, medical professionals really led me astray with this. Some people they're messed up for life. I'll never be able to have kids. My rugged masculinity is never gonna come back. It's all patient-led. It's patient-led. I wanna do hormones and I wanna have this surgery. And I think what they should do is a high-quality assessment and have some kind of safeguarding for people. I just don't like the idea of being collateral damage for this movement. I don't think that's fair.
Parents have bought into it. They're being fed all this propaganda, like if you don't let your child do this, they'll kill themselves. There's no evidence to suggest that's true. Gender critical means I'm critical of gender ideology. Gender ideology does not believe there's biological sex. It believes that felt gender has replaced biological sex. It believes that there are 100 genders. And I think it's nonsense. There's biological sex. You're male, you're female, and a very tiny proportion of the people are intersex.
I do not believe that anyone is born in the wrong body, nor do I believe that anyone has an innate gender identity that might be out of alignment with their sexed body. We are lying to children. I think we need to stop lying to children.
I think things will turn around. It'll be like turning a battleship around, but it will turn around.